With that, ladies and gentlemen, we welcome you inside a blustery Melbourne ballpark. I'm Nick Batters. Ed Wyatt will be with us in a bit. Well, like I said, it's not the series that we were expecting. This was supposed to be a 4-game set with a Perth heat. Instead, the Canberra Cavalry have come south into Victoria to play the Melbourne Aces this weekend. Back on Thursday, the Aces won their home opener, a 1-0 victory over the Perth heat. And tonight, Brian Flynn goes for the Aces as they look to break what was a series tie in Canberra 2 weekends ago. Our Ed Wyatt had a chance to catch up with a member of the Aces and the Cavalry just a little bit ago.
Obviously, an interesting scenario bringing you guys to Melbourne. How hectic was that?
Yeah, I mean, it was a pretty quick turnaround. We had an inter-squad game on Thursday night. We found out after the inter-squad game, they said, hey, we're going to Melbourne over the weekend. If that's possible, we didn't really know what was happening with the restrictions coming in, but it just kind of came out of nowhere, but the boys pulled together and we got enough guys down here to field the team.
And how is it, obviously, at the last minute, you come in and end up having to face the reigning champions? Does that change the approach at all?
Not necessarily. We played them last week for that 2-game set, so it gives us a good idea of what we're facing, and we know who they got in the bullpen and the arms that we're going to be facing, as well as we got a good chance to face some of the hitters, and we know where they're at as well in the season. So everyone's had a mixed preparation, so I think everyone's kind of a bit hesitant coming into the game, and we're all trying to find a bit of form at the moment. So I think we're on a pretty level playing field at this stage, and we've just got to get out there and give it a crack.
First of all, great win last night. Must feel good to play a big part in that win last night.
Yeah, definitely. Look, anytime you get a chance to do that, it's pretty fun and special. So, happy we got the win, and let's do it again tonight.
It was Perth, and now it's Canberra. What was the mood like when sort of kind of scrambling to find an opponent, and then you finally find out it's your old team, Canberra?
I'm all right with it. I just love playing baseball. So I think all the boys are the same. We just want to play, and any way we can get that done is a good thing for us.
Yep, and double headers. Any feeling on the playing 2 tonight?
Not really. It's going to be a long day, but ultimately, baseball's baseball, and we have fun playing. So.
Well, we've played one, now let's play another. Double dip on tap tonight from Melbourne Ballpark. The Melbourne Aces and the Canberra Cavalry. I'm Nick Batters. Ed Wyatt will join us in a bit. Melbourne Aces baseball is coming up. A beautiful national anthem from Melbourne Ballpark. There's been a little rain in the forecast, but Ed Wyatt, it looks like everything's going to be clear. Hi everyone, I'm Nick Batters, and again, joined alongside Ed Wyatt for Melbourne Aces baseball on this Saturday evening. 2 games scheduled, Ed. It's going to be a fun night of baseball, isn't it?
Well, Nick, I am not a weatherman, and I don't play one on television or radio, but I can tell you it is wet. There's a bit of rain about, and we've got our fingers crossed that we get 2 games in tonight. We'll go through this a little bit during the course of the telecast, but the fact that we've got, you can see the rain radar on your screen right there, so maybe I am a weather forecaster on television, Nick. But Canberra now in town after Perth. Aces beat Perth last night. Perth left for a bubble up in Queensland, and there's a little bit of work going on, and Canberra's shown up for a 3-game series.
And how good is that of the Canberra Cavalry on pretty short notice, able to come up or come down, I should say, come down from the nation's capital. And Brian Flynn on the mound for the Aces tonight. He 6 years in the big leagues, and he was sensational in Canberra just last weekend. He pitched against the Cavalry. He threw 3 innings in the Sunday game, didn't allow a run, just 1 hit with a walk and 2 strikeouts. He threw 48 pitches, 29 of them for strikes. And he is a big asset to the Aces pitching staff this season.
Yeah, he certainly is. And I tell you, what's interesting is the fact that these 2 teams have played before. So even though it was a last-minute arrangement, we spoke with Josh Moore of Canberra before the game. he was like, it was not that big a deal because we played him a little while ago. There is Brian Flynn, you mentioned. Big unit, Nick, 6'8".
Born in 1990, weighs 245 pounds, so he's a big man, but as the crowd gives the Canberra Cavalry a round of applause for coming out. I mean, again, really just a fantastic effort by everyone.
Absolutely right. Mikey Reynolds leading off, Nick. We've seen this guy play before with Adelaide. He is a very good shortstop.
It's 23 degrees, and away we go from Melbourne Ballpark as Brian Flynn fires in a called strike here at 5:33 local time. Reynolds, the shortstop, doesn't have a hit yet this season. Cracked out to right. Willis over to his left, settles under it. One gone here in the first.
Saw a lot of flyouts last night, and with that wind and rain, it will be a little bit more treacherous, I would think, tonight. Nice play out there by Willis.
So Reynolds remains hitless this season. And now it's the second baseman, Samad Taylor. 2 pitches, 1 out. Pretty efficient for Brian Flynn. And we'll talk about it, but we mentioned 6 years in the big leagues, 2 with the Miami Marlins, 4 with the Kansas City Royals, as Taylor, the Blue Jays prospect, steps in.
Yeah, he's a legit prospect, 22-year-old drafted in the 10th round, 4 seasons in the Indians and Blue Jays farm system, currently in high A ball.
It's kind of the middle of the minor leagues. Flynn's 0-1, in for a called strike, and quickly Brian Flynn, the southpaw, ahead in the count. No balls and 2 strikes.
Talked about that all last night, didn't we, Nick? Getting ahead of the batter.
Makes a huge difference. The native of Oklahoma, his 0-2. Swung on and missed, strike 3. Brian Flynn strikes out Samad Taylor, 2 gone in the first.
Saw a fair few strikeouts last night, and
16 of them.
16. Be nice to see a few more tonight if you're an Aces fan.
Flynn in 102 major league games, 134 strikeouts. So just an average of a little over a strikeout an appearance, largely as a reliever, including the entirety of the 2018 season with the Kansas City Royals. The wind blowing hard. First pitch to Tucker Nathans. The center fielder called a strike.
Hit 300 last year with the Cavalry. This is his Cavalry. It's his 2nd season with them. Also hit 5 home runs last year, Nick, so a little bit of power.
Good view of the Aces dugout, looking to pull out their 2nd win against the Cavs this season. Pop to the left side. Gift Ngope settles under it. The bat flew into the backstop and is hanging above the seats on the first base side, but Ngope snags the pop-up, and that will end the top of the first inning. Easy breezy for Brian Flynn. No runs, no hits, no errors, no runners left on base. Aces first at bats coming up on the other side.
Australia, it's our great low prices that make the difference. In our end of summer Aloha clearance sale, save from 30% up to 50% off our range of blinds, shutters and awnings. U Blinds Australia, more value for you.
Bottom of the first inning, no score. Melbourne Aces and Canberra Cavalry. First of 2 today, first of 3 on the weekend. Nick Batters with you alongside Ed Wyatt. Ed, the Melbourne Aces coming up for their first at-bats in the bottom of the first inning. And last night, it wasn't a very offensive game, but they got the 1 run that they needed.
They did. It was a real tactical game, and the Aces pushed to run around in the 8th inning and won it 1-0. It was a real pitcher's duel, that's for sure. And interesting, might see the same thing tonight. Frank Galey is on the mound tonight for Canberra. 10 innings pitched last season, but before that, he put in a bit of time with the Cowboys. 61 innings the year before that, 50 before that. So a bit of an ABL veteran, left-hander, 35-year-old from the U.S.
Got the opening day start last weekend for Canberra as he delivers his first pitch, lefty on lefty to Blake Galey. That misses for a ball. He was really good against the Aces. In fact, he picked up the win, pitched 7 innings, allowed 3 runs on 8 hits, 3 strikeouts. His 1-0. Called a strike on the outer half. Count is even 1-1. Galey hitting .316 on the season with a home run and 5 runs driven in.
But nothing last night. In fact, the top of the order. 0 for 15, Nick.
He went 0 for 3.
So important for Galen George, Ngope, Young, and Tom Shea to rebound tonight, contribute.
Cavs in their orange tops, aces in all white as Galen takes another called strike, 2-2. He'll be followed by Daryl George, the shortstop, Gift Ngope, the third baseman, Delman Young, the designated hitter, Damick Tom Shea playing first, Colin Willis in right, Kyle Perkins catching, Jared Cruz in left, and Jared Dale at second. Galey the 2-2. Cracked off to the left side, coming out the shortstop Reynolds, settles under it in shallow left center, makes the grab, 1 gone.
Saw some good shortstop play. Obviously, Daryl George and Mikey Reynolds tonight is a very, very good fielding shortstop. We saw him make some great plays last season.
He was fantastic for the Adelaide Giants each of the last 2 seasons. So Galey 1 gone in the first.
So the only change tonight, Nick, for the Aces, Romansky drops to the bench. Kyle Perkins, catcher, and Jared Cruz goes to left as Jared Dale comes in to play second base. So that versatility we talked about with Jared Cruz last night, playing second. Tonight he's in the.
He's played 3 different positions this season. Daryl George can play a few different positions in the infield. He's only played shortstop this season, but has experience at short and second base as well. Was even a pitcher before he signed with the Tampa Bay Rays system a while ago. He lines it up the middle into center field, the base hit. Daryl George hitless last night. Second pitch swinging, pokes it into center, and the Ace is a base runner for Gift Ngope.
Must have heard what we were saying, Nick.
Ngope, the South African. We saw him face Dylan Unsworth last night.
Unsworth very good last night.
He was.
About 1 run, gets the loss.
5 innings, just allowed 2 hits, didn't allow a run, so he got a no decision.
Yep.
And Ngope digs in, went hitless yesterday. 0 for 3 with a couple of strikeouts as he takes a called strike there.
It's a good breaking ball right there.
Spent the previous 2 seasons with the Sydney Blue Sox, was the defensive player of the year in this league 2 seasons ago. Near the top of the league in batting average as well. Takes a big swing and dribbles off to the right side. So he's behind in the count, no balls and 2 strikes.
Great little camera there, looking through the Aces dugout into the out to home play. A cool night here at the ballpark.
It is.
A little bit rainy, but still pleasant enough to watch some baseball.
The 0-2, he checks his swing, pulls back well in time. So it's 1 ball and 2 strikes. Delman Young, the designated hitter, stands out on deck. You see him there in the bottom right corner of your screen. As Daryl George begins to take his lead from first, 0 for 1 in stolen base attempts this season. He's going. And again, Gift Ngope, we saw that at the top of the first, and Ngope loses control of the bat. Sends it down the left side.
I guess you don't have to be a genius, Nick, to say that the rainy weather is going to be, something you need to be careful of.
Yeah, the bats can get slippery.
Yeah, absolutely.
Ngope, we saw that at the top of the first, and Ngope loses control of the bat. I mean, Shannon, he had to go to the lip of the sends it down the left side. Pick that up for Gift Ngope.
It's quite a heave.
I think he thinks he fouled it off, but the umpires are going to converge. Perhaps it was ruled a swing and a miss. Ian Gavin is the home plate umpire. Stuart Howe at first. Greg Howard is the third base umpire.
See them having a bit of a consultation there.
Is it a foul ball? Did he?
It's hard to tell from here.
Swing and miss?
Yeah. Very, very serious discussion. Tension is killing me.
And it makes a big difference because you either give Gift Ngope another chance to swing away, or there are 2 outs.
Yep.
They're going to rule him out. So that's the second out here in the bottom of the first inning.
Strike out for Frank Galey.
Daryl George has moved up to second base, though. So with 2 gone, a runner is in scoring position now for the big man, Delman Young, who also went hitless last night. though he was robbed by a sensational play by Abazil Ramirez up the middle to begin the second inning. So both pitchers with a strikeout now, one for Flynn, one for Galey. Young takes a big hat, comes up empty, 0-1.
You mentioned it last night. He does swing at that first pitch a lot, doesn't he?
The defense playing him fairly straight up. Keeping an eye on George at second, though, as he dances off. Count evens 1-1. Young, 5 runs batted in this season already, tied with Blake Galen and Darryl George for the most on the team. He's also hitting .389, though he doesn't have a home run yet this season. Still looking for that first stinger of the year. Galey, long look back at second. Misses away, 2-1.
Very careful here with a hitter of Delman's efficiency.
George takes his lead from second. Young ahead in the count, the 2-1. Big swing and a miss, 2-2. We talked about it, Delman Young, 10 years in the majors. He's slimmed up a lot in the offseason. Had a really good workout routine. We'll have to chat with him sometime to find out exactly what it was that he did.
And a lot of people in Australia would love to know what he did after some of the lockdowns we've been through.
Loops it into center. Tucker Nathans has a beat on it, comes in, makes the grab. That's the third out here in the bottom of the first inning. Darryl George singles. He steals second. Can't come around to score, though. He's stranded there as we end the first. No runs on a hit. No errors, a runner left on base. Scoreless after one out of the second for Melbourne Ballpark. Nick and Ed, we'll see you in a sec.
For over 40 years, All Green Nursery has been providing the communities of Melbourne's western and northern suburbs the best advice and results for their gardens. Our retail centre, indoor plant space and expansive nursery floor showcases over 150 varieties of vibrant plants, most of them grown locally right here in Werribee South. We have qualified horticulturists on site to help assist with all your gardening needs, and our home decor section is stocked with a full range of quality options. All Green Nursery, your local plant nursery and garden centre. Visit our sites in Hoppers Crossing and Epping.
Get set for the first Group 1 race of the year. With $100,000 to the winner, the Fakeway Greyhound Silver Chief is sure to be a cracking race. Crowds are strictly limited. Book today. The Fakeway Greyhound Silver Chief. Saturday, January 2 at the Meadows.
Back from Melbourne Ballpark, Nick and Ed. Glad to have you with us for a doubleheader, 2 7-inning games it will be tonight between the Melbourne Aces and the Canberra Cavalry. So a little different than we're used to, but I'll take any baseball at this point.
Absolutely right, and the fact that Canberra are here after last night's game against Perth is just a great scramble by the ABL and the Aces and the Cavalry to make this happen.
A lot of hard work was put in behind the scenes yesterday, and that was something that Josh Warner mentioned. Brian Flynn threw 7 pitches in the top of the first inning, all of them for strikes. He got 3 outs, including a strikeout. Zach Wilson, the first baseman, digs in and takes his first pitch strike.
Really is something to watch these ex-big leaguers throw. Just remarkable.
Flynn's 0-1, another strike. It's 0-2. Lots we can talk about with Brian Flynn over the course of the night. We'll try not to overload you too much. He has a great career, though, that's fun to talk about. 0-2, sent off to the right side foul. One of my favorite Brian Flynn notes is that he's played for the United States national baseball team. It was last year. He played for the United States in the Premier 12 because 40-man roster players in MLB could not be on the Premier 12 roster as he
yeah, that's right.
skips the ball in front of home plate. That's his first ball of the game. But yeah, he pitched for the United States in last year's Premier 12 over in Japan. Made his major league debut in 2013 with the Miami Marlins. Spent 2016, 17, 18, and 19 with the Kansas City Royals in the major leagues. Wilson behind to the count, 1-2. Flynn looking for his second strikeout, but he steps off.
I think the rain holding off a little bit, Nick, which is great news.
Flynn the 1-2. Back to the screen. We'll do it once more. Flynn over 100 games, you mentioned, of big league experience. 135 in the minor leagues as well.
Yeah, I was going to say, he did put a
lot of time in AAA.
Yep. Well, it's similar to our own Justin Huber, of course.
This
a lot
true,
of
yes.
time at AAA, just a little bit of time with the big team. And AAA is a, you know, for those who don't know, is a great level of baseball. And
it's a high level of baseball.
It's very high, and there are a number of guys there that, for whatever reason, just can't make that next leap to the majors, but still tremendous players.
The 2-2. Swung on and missed, strike 3. Brian Flynn, his second punch out of the ball game. It's the first out here in the second.
We'll change this name to Strikeout Ballpark the way we're going last night and tonight. Got to look at the Canberra Cavalry dugout.
Cam Warner, the designated hitter, steps in. Hitting .400 on the season with 3 runs batted in. Looks at a called strike 1.
Another one of those veterans, 4th season with Canberra. Hit .400 last year, .328 the year before, so can hit.
Fouls it back to the screen, quickly ahead in the count, 0-2. In Canberra's opening game on Saturday last weekend, he had a 2 RBI single that really was a kick in the gut to the Aces, because the Aces scored a run in the top of the 8th inning on a Kyle Perkins single, and Canberra stormed back to score 5 in the bottom half of that inning to take the first game of the series, and Cam Warner drove in 2 of those runs.
I was watching that on Fox Sports, Nick. Just sitting back watching. Hey, we're in pretty good shape.
Yeah.
Next inning, bang.
And over till it over.
Nope.
The 1-2. Tip back. We'll do it once more.
Pete Moylan racing out of the dugout. What's Nick? Just sitting back
ball
watching.
boy
Hey,
duty,
we're in
Nick.
pretty good shape.
Yeah.
Next inning, bang. Pitching coach for the Aces.
And over till it.
Long MLB career, Peter Moylan.
A great asset to have around. Flynn into his motion. 1-2. Just misses inside.
Sure did.
2 balls and 2 strikes to Cam Warner. The right fielder, Donald Lutz, stands out on deck. Just a few meters behind Warner. The 2-2. Called strike 3. Brian Flynn, back-to-back strikeouts to open up the second.
I thought the pitch before was a strike, and that was a ball, Nick.
Donald Lutz stands out on deck. Just a few meters behind
Warner. The 2-2.
on the inner half. Strike 3. Rung up by the Brian Flynn umpire. Back-to-back. Ian Gavin.
A little bit of exaggeration, I think, from Warner there on the move back made it look worse than it was. I think it's a legitimate strike.
It's the right fielder, Donald Lutz, now. Takes the first pitch inside for a ball. Lutz, really a great gesture by the Brisbane Bandits to offer him to the Canberra Cavalry this season. They offered him and several other development players for the Bandits Academy. Lutz manages that. He drives it out to center. Shallow right center. It's the second baseman, Jared Dale, to make the grab. And it's another 1-2-3 inning for Brian Flynn. 6 up and 6 down to begin this ball game. He's having no trouble with the Canberra Cavalry order. No runs, no hits, no errors. No runners left on base. Bottom of the second coming up. Back in a bit.
Welcome back to Melbourne Ballpark. You can see the Aces as they line up in the field. Kyle Perkins behind the plate, as we mentioned. Normal infield, similar to last night. The Jared Dale moves in to second. Damick Tomshay at first. Giffen Gopé at third. And Daryl Jordan shortstop. Outfield, Willis Cruz and Blake Galey.
How good is that graphic? Love the overhead view of Melbourne Ballpark.
You do anything with a drone these days, can you? There's the Canberra Cavalry lineup as well. Perkins behind the plate. Infield of Wilson, Taylor, Reynolds, and Gallagher. Lutz, Nathans, and Bas Noy, the Dutchman, in the outfield.
That's one thing I noticed when looking at the Canberra Cavalry lineup is that there's a lot of diversity in terms of backgrounds on here. You have Jimmy Boyce from New Zealand.
Yep.
Of course, lots of players from the U.S. and Australia. Bas Noy from the Netherlands.
And Chavez Young, who didn't
Chavez Young didn't make the trip.
Bahamas.
Yes, from the Bahamas. Got to give credit to the great folks of the Canberra Cavalry. Brought him on the broadcast for their inter-squad game a couple of nights ago.
Fabulous.
And he called the Kyle Perkins Grand Slam.
So good. It was so good.
We'll have to figure out who we can get up from the Aces into the booth.
We were hoping that Young would make the trip and get him up into the booth with us.
David Tomsha leads off the bottom of the second. Frank Galey out for his second inning of work. Starts Tomsha off with the ball. 1-0. He was a part of the top of the Aces order that didn't do much yesterday.
0 for 15, Nick.
Though he does have 2 home runs, 3 runs batted into the season, including one last Sunday in Canberra. Cracks it out to right. Lutz ranging back on it to the warning track. Turns around at the wall. That one is gone. David Tomsha, his 3rd home run of the season. It puts the Aces up 1-0 here in the second.
So much for that 0 for 15. Tomsha got a hold of that, sort of waited on that.
It just kept carrying and carrying.
And we wondered about that last night with the wind, but this one just kept going. You're right. It's hard to get a beat on it sometimes when you're watching from the booth here.
Third round opens the scoring for your Melbourne Aces.
Aces dugout loves that.
Absolutely right. Why wouldn't you?
So Galey will pitch from behind as he faces the left-handed hitting right fielder Colin Willis. Into the opposite field to impressive power from Tomsha.
Absolutely right.
Willis takes the ball. Count is even 1-1. Last season's ABL batting average leader struggled a little bit to begin the season, only hitting 154, though he was possibly one of the players of the game last night. Singled, walked, then stole second, advanced to third on a sac bunt, and scored the game's only run. The count, 2 balls and a strike. Galey falling behind after giving up the leadoff home run.
Big swing and miss. We did get a message on Twitter from someone who said, how could you leave out Kyle Perkins last night with his put out, scoring the run? And I was like, oh, yeah, it's a very good point, or bringing in the run.
It was a tough call because there were a lot of players yesterday. It was a team effort.
Absolutely.
It wasn't just one player that made the difference. Big swing and a miss. Strike 3. Willis down swinging. That's the first out for Frank Galey. That's the perfect way to bounce back from giving up a leadoff home run.
Yep, absolutely.
He does have
right.
2 home runs, 3 runs batted into
too,
the season,
Nick,
including one last Sunday.
Good.
Another look at that home run from David Tomsha.
Breaking ball. He just sort of waited on it, met it perfectly. And away it goes, just past or under that Jet Courier sign out there.
Kyle Perkins, mentioned just moments ago, steps in the former Canberra Cavalry catcher. Got him and his brother Robbie there.
Yeah.
In the bottom left corner. Both catching tonight, yeah.
How about that? Good pitch.
Yeah, really good pitch there. Takes a call strike. We're even at 1-1. Got to get into Frank Galey a little bit because his story is pretty good as well. As Perkins takes the ball outside, 1-0. A native of Philadelphia, born in Philadelphia, but a native of Pennsylvania, the 35-year-old.
Lancaster, I believe, right? Which is Pennsylvania Dutch country, Amish country.
Misses inside again, 3 balls and 1 strike.
He was not happy with that, Nick. If you look at Galey right there, he just snapped that ball back into his glove and kind of glared at Ian Gavin.
Perkins hitting .286 in the season, had the sac fly yesterday, we mentioned. These two were teammates together the last 4 seasons in Canberra. This is the 5th year with the Cavs for Galey. It's 3-1. Big swing and a miss.
comes back again hard, Galey. Perkins a little smile.
Galey, a lot of time in the Toronto Blue Jays system. A little bit with the Phillies, and then ended his career 2013 and 2014 with the Midland Rockhounds in the AA Texas League, affiliate of the Oakland Athletics, as Kyle Perkins draws ball 4. He'll head down to first base.
Yeah, that pitch got away from him there. There's Jared Cruz, we mentioned, Mr. Versatile. There he is, can play a number of different positions. Tonight he's in left field.
There's the graphics we have out on the video board. It was a long night a couple nights ago to finish all of those. Cruz slices it foul, 0-1.
Surprised you've gotten any sleep these last couple nights, Nick.
Me too. Me too. That's the life living in baseball, though.
I know.
It's been a fun week. Well worth it to get to this point where we are now. Cruz hitting .250 on the season. Swings and misses behind the count. Now no balls and 2 strikes.
We talked about that last night, how great it was just to have baseball back. And I kind of feel the same way tonight, too, because we weren't sure after no game yesterday what was going to happen today. And then the weather comes in as well. So.
The 0-2. Swung on and missed, strike 3. Frank Galey, once again, gives the home run, gets the strikeout.
Yeah.
Walks the batter, gets the strikeout.
And I guess that's something, you know, comes with experience. A veteran pitcher will do that, focus on that. Here's Jared Dale.
Out of the lineup last night, Dale. Just 20 years old, the San Diego Padres prospect.
Of course, son of the great Phil Dale, manager here with the Aces, and obviously has done so much for baseball, particularly in Victoria.
Yes.
Super nice guy as well.
Longtime coach on the national team with John Diebel.
Yep.
Galey's 0-1. Line down the left field line. That's fair and headed for the corner. Perkins around second. He's around third as well. Jared Dale heading for third. The play at the plate. The throw beats Perkins, and it's in time. What a relay by the Canberra Cavalry.
Super play there. I wasn't sure Noy was going to get to that in left field, but then you're right. The relay was magnificent. Beat him pretty easily, to be honest, in the end. But well played by Canberra.
So it's a double for Jared Dale that doesn't score Kyle Perkins. Let's take another look at that before we head to break. Pitch inside that Dale turned on, sent down the left field line, but Boz Noy, the natural catcher, was quick to it. And Perkins was going all the way. There was never a question, but the ball beat him there by a couple of steps. Really a fantastic throw. His brother Robbie tags him out. That's the end of the second. Aces do score a run, though, on the leadoff home run from Dave McTomshay. 1-0 Melbourne. We're headed to the third.
There's an unseen thread woven into the fabric of all Australian homes. It's our way of life. Sun-kissed days, afternoon storms, and memories shared with those we love. It's messy, but you bet we make it work. In the end, it's the simple things that make an Australian home home. And what did the trick then? It still does the job now.
Hills, Australia's trusted clothesline since 1945.
Light and Easy doesn't make diet food. Instead, they create delicious, nutritious food for you to enjoy whilst improving your health and saving time. So, the secret to losing weight and being healthy is simply eating delicious food.
Welcome back to Melbourne Ballpark. Headed to the top of the third inning. Ed White and Nick Batters with you. Aces lead the Canberra Cavalry 1-0. This is a 7-inning game. Just a reminder, we've got a doubleheader tonight. So when the ABL plays doubleheaders, they go 7 innings. So we're in the top of the third here. Bottom third of the order, Robbie Perkins, Austin Gallagher, and Boz Noy. You made that great play out in left field to stop the Aces rally in the last inning. It's 1-0. Brian Flynn continuing on the mound for the Aces. First pitch right down the middle, strike one.
Flynn, really, really good through the first 2 innings.
Yep.
Didn't throw a ball in the first, only a few of them in the second.
That one's high and inside, 1-1 count. Robbie Perkins, 26-year-old Canberra native. Signed with the Rockies as a 19-year-old, 6 years in their system. Outside corner, low, but called a strike. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Actually played 3 games with the AAA Albuquerque team. Are they the Dukes or the Isotopes? Yeah.
Used to be the Dukes, though.
Yeah, my old PCL days, they were the Dukes. That one's low. 2-2. Got to keep up with the kids, Nick.
Yeah.
The Isotopes.
Perkins, one of the catchers for the Australian national team.
Here's a 2-2 pitch from Flynn. That's high and outside. Full count, 3-2. Aces got 1 in the bottom of the second. On a home run by Dave McTomshay, leadoff home run. Here's payoff pitch. And it's high. Perkins will head to first with a walk. First free pass of the game for Brian Flynn. And Canberra's got the first base runner, Nick.
We saw how well Frank Galey responded from trouble in the second. It's going to be important to see what Brian Flynn does here now that we're into the third.
Austin Gallagher is the hitter. Played with Adelaide.
Came in as an injury replacement in the first game of the Aces Cavs series in replace of Chavez Young.
32-year-old was drafted back in 2007 by the Dodgers, and my apologies, he was the Lancaster, Pennsylvania player. Frank Galey from Philly. Gallagher from a little further up in Pennsylvania. 2 balls, no strikes. That's popped out of play for a strike. Aces beat Perth 2 nights ago. I just keep saying last night. Seemed like last night. Had night off last night, and then Canberra's come in for 3 games. 2 tonight, 1 tomorrow. That's hit into shallow right field. Willis comes in and makes a play. 1 away.
Again, that's what we're looking for. It's seeing how Brian Flynn responds from trouble.
Second put out of the night for Colin Willis in right field. Shot at Perkins on first. And Bosnoy steps in now. Native of the Netherlands.
He's seen his fair bit of the ABL in the last several years.
A couple years with Adelaide, 1 with the Tuatara over in Auckland. Swing and a miss. Only had 4 hits in 38 at-bats last year, Nick, but 2 of them were home runs. So he does have some power.
Lots of time in the Dutch Major League as well.
Which they play a pretty good level in the Netherlands. Of course, helped by a lot of those players from the Caribbean.
Spent a lot of time with the L&D Amsterdam Pirates. He went 34-8 his final season with them in 2015.
Oh-2 pitch. Grounded to short. George makes a scoop, goes to second, over to first for double play.
In and out of the glove of Tom Shea.
I think he would have beaten it out anyway, to be honest. It wasn't hit that hard, but there will be 1 down. Noy will be on first, but Perkins heads back to the dugout. 2 down.
You'll take at least 1 out, though.
Yep.
Tough play to make if you're George.
It was.
Has to range to your right. You're throwing it the opposite direction from the way that you're moving.
Yeah. Wasn't hit that hard. Top of the order now, Mikey Reynolds. Flew out to right field his first time up, and as Nick mentioned, still looking for his first hit on the season.
So far, 0 for his first 7.
First 2 pitches, balls. Two down, top of 3, Aces lead it 1-0. Flynn checks the runner at first, steps off. Now he's back focused on Mikey Reynolds. Ground down the third baseline, foul. Goes in as a strike, 2 balls and a strike.
Feels like the sun's starting to poke out a little bit.
Just as you say that, Nick, I looked over to my left, and it looks a little bit cloudy.
The sky is a bit gray.
Fingers crossed. Here's a 2-1 pitch. Flynn to Reynolds. Low, 3-1. So after 2 really quick innings, Flynn struggling a little bit with his control. Here's a 3-1 pitch. Goes over to first just to keep Bosnoy honest over there.
Can't say I'm too sure Bosnoy will be running.
I don't think so.
Has not attempted a stolen base in the Australian Baseball League.
Not nicknamed the Flying Dutchman?
He is not, no.
Here's the 3-1 pitch. Grounded slowly, and Gope comes over, scoops, fires in the dirt. Well played over at first by Tom Shea. Inning is over.
What a great play on both sides of the ball.
It certainly was.
And Gope to scoop it, or to scoop it and throw, and then Tom Shea to recover the throw at first.
Get a quick look at it here. Reynolds grounds that high off the turf. Here comes Gope scoops, fires. Well played over there by Tom Shea. Base runner gets on, but no runs. We'll head to the bottom of the third. Aces still lead it 1-0.
Australia, it's our great low prices that make the difference, especially during our once-a-year stock take sale. For 2 weeks only, all products are half price. Yes, half price. U Blinds Australia, more value for you.
Welcome back to Melbourne Ballpark. Bottom of the third inning, Aces lead the Canberra Cavalry 1-0. And Wyatt, Nick Batters with you. That is Frank Galey, the pitcher for Canberra. And he's firing to Blake Galey, the top of the Aces order here. Galey flew out to short in the first inning. First pitch is a strike. It's grounded sharply down the first base line, just foul. Fielded down there by Zach Wilson. Back into the batter's box after he dries off the bat. Wet night here at Melbourne Ballpark. Galen, Darryl George, and Gift and Gope for the Aces, top of the order here in the bottom of the third.
We're talking about Frank Galey to Archbishop John Carroll High School in Radnor, Pennsylvania, and then Westchester University of Pennsylvania. So stayed around that Philly area. Yep. Not too far from Lancaster. Just it didn't look that way on the map that I pulled up.
Not too bad. All my relatives are from Philly. My grandparents, my parents grew up there. So for me to make that error is somewhat egregious, Nick. I feel bad about that. But we rectified it. There's a ball and 2 strikes now on Blake Galey. Bottom of the third, Aces lead it 1-0. Big lefty comes in with a breaking ball, and Galey couldn't pull the trigger. Not happy, but Shuffles back to the dugout, 1 down. And that is the 4th strikeout of the night for Frank Galey.
He hasn't looked bad.
No.
He looked good against the Aces last weekend, and he's looking good again tonight. Galen wasn't too sure about that. Galen versus Galey, little.
I was just thinking, did I get the name wrong? And then I realized it was Galey and Galey. Darryl George now singled his first time up. Veteran Aces player back after missing last season with a hand injury. Takes a strike.
It's been such an energizer into the Aces lineup to have him back. It was killing him to not be a part of the championship team as a player.
Yeah.
Not the same being a coach.
Very unfair in a way.
Especially for someone who's known nothing but playing.
Super contributor. Really nice guy.
Singled in the first. He's been great again this season for the Aces.
One pitch is hit sharply into deep center field. Nathans is back. It's gone. Deep center field over the 370 mark. Darryl George and the Aces. Opposite of the other night, they're playing long ball, Nick.
The long ball's getting the job done tonight. Darryl George, his first home run of the season. Has to feel good to get that. It's been almost 2 years since he's homered in an Australian Baseball League game. His 24th career ABL home run.
How about that? You see the Aces. High five, smiles all around. John Diebel enjoying that one.
Fired up.
He's known Darryl George for a long, long time. Welcome back to the ABL.
Straightaway center field, my goodness.
Oh, man. Gifton Gope now comes in and swings and misses. We saw a couple last night, Nick, that we thought were hit well, but didn't really come close. That one, as I watched it, I wasn't sure if it was going to land. And it just kept going, and Gope takes a ball 1-1. So Aces now lead it 2-0 on 2 solo home runs. This is outside, so 2 balls and a strike on Gift and Gope.
But he'd love to get his first hit of the season out of the way here soon.
Absolutely.
Put a runner on for Delman Young.
3-1. Our good mate Tony Jones on Twitter saying, we keep saying last night.
Yeah, you know, my mother's texted me about that.
Correct.
It's going to trip me up probably at least for a few more innings.
It's foul back off the net. 3 balls, 2 strikes. But thank you for the feedback. And you're absolutely right. It seems like it was last night because of series.
I'm not used to having a day off in between.
Series runs Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Absolutely. That's the excuse we're running with. 3 balls, 2 strikes. 1 out. Aces lead at 2-0. Looked like he cut the outside corner. I think you could hear Frank Galey's anger at that, not getting that call, and Gope's going to head down to first with a walk.
Step in the right direction for Gifton Gope. First time he's reached base with the Aces.
Second walk of the night for Galey. Not happy with that. As big Delman Young, there he is. Major leaguer. Galey's got to be very careful here. Only 1 out. Big Dell at the plate.
Gope 11 for 12 in stolen base attempts over his 2 ABL seasons.
Pretty good. Delman Young fouls that one out of play. 1 ball, 1 strike. Bottom of third, 7-inning game. We're playing a doubleheader tonight, so just keep that in mind. There he goes, and Gope's got a decent jump. Throw down to second. Got him.
I got him on the slide in.
I think he certainly did. That's a nice
throw. That was a fantastic tag too from the second baseman Taylor.
It certainly was.
Goodness.
So it's 11 out of 13 now. So just like that, 2 down. And 2, swing and a miss. So that caught stealing play really helps out Frank Galey as he gets out of the inning, gives up a home run, but gets out of the inning. Here goes a quick look at the stolen base, and that was quite a tag. You're absolutely right. Anyway, Aces do get a run. It's now 2-0 Aces over Canberra, and we'll be back with the top of the 4th after this.
We can make sure that you then remain COVID safe even after you've left the ballpark. Wash your hands regularly by using either the hand sanitizer provided around the ballpark or use the soap and water provided in the toilets. Please make sure if you're queuing up for food, drinks or the merchandise store, keep a distance of 1.5 metres between you and anyone else. Or make sure you wear a fitted mask when you can't keep your distance. And please don't approach the players or officials at any time throughout the game. The management of the Melbourne Aces and the Melbourne Ballpark thank you for keeping everyone COVID safe.
Welcome back, Melbourne Aces and Canberra Cavalry. Looking at look at some of the fans here at Melbourne Ballpark. It's a breezy, cool night, but the rain has stayed away for the most part. And the home crowd is pretty happy because their Melbourne Aces lead the Canberra Cavalry 2-0 as we head to the top of the 4th of a 7-inning game. Nick Batters alongside me here, and that is the rain radar, which we're looking at. I'm not really sure.
Melbourne kind of in or I should say, Altona Meadows, where we are, kind of in the bottom left quadrant there. So it looks like for now it's going to miss us.
That would be sensational. I'd like to get a couple of games in tonight. It's been a very challenging scheduling year for the ABL and its clubs. But at the moment, we're playing baseball. We're in the top of the 4th. And Samad Taylor, he made that really nice play to tag out Gifting Gope, leads off. Struck out his first time up. Looks at a pitch high from Brian Flynn, who's worked 3 innings so far, into his 4th. 3 strikeouts, only 1 walk.
Originally a Cleveland Indians draft pick, 10th round back in 2016 from Corona High School in Corona, California. Now, of course, with the Blue Jays.
2 quick balls on Samad Taylor. So it's Taylor, Nathans, and Zach Wilson here in the top of the 4th for Canberra.
Taylor involved in a trade deadline deal that sent Joe Smith to the Indians.
That's hit hard, and Gope brings it down. Taylor's got some wheels running down there to first base, and Gope had to leap pretty high for that, but couldn't bring it down. Would have been tough play to catch fleet-footed Taylor anyway.
So a single for the second baseman.
First hit of the game for Canberra, Nick. First hit given up by Brian Flynn. Good shot of Taylor over there on first. Would be a threat, you would think. Big swing and a miss, foul tip, in fact, from Tucker Nathans. He flew out to second base. Third base, excuse me. His first time up. Flynn checking Taylor over at first. Keeping an eye on him. Now steps off the rubber. Definitely someone to keep an eye on, no doubt about it. Pitch. Perkins came up, ready to fire. Definitely concerned about him over there, maybe first.
Taylor in 313 minor league games, stolen 83 bases. Been caught 32 times. He stole 44 bases in 2018 with the Lansing Lugnuts. Class A affiliate for the Toronto Blue Jays in the Midwest League.
Breaking ball. Misses. 2 balls and a strike. Yeah, so he definitely can motor around those bases. Decent lead over there. Get the signal from Perkins. 2-1 pitch. Broken bat right back. This could be a double play. There's one. It's dropped at second.
They'll say it was on the transfer.
Got him. Yes, they did. And here, Keith Ward's going to come out and protest this one, Nick, without a doubt. The manager of Canberra. So bat was broken. The play was thrown to second to make a double play ball. The point out. We'll have a look at it here. So nice play there, but as George goes to make the throw to first, he loses the ball. So the call was that he tagged the base, the runner is out, but in the transfer to throw to first, that's when he dropped it. Keith Ward out there looking for an explanation, shall we say.
It never hurts to just check with the umpires.
Yep.
There again, we see the home plate umpire, Ian Gavin. It looks like the umpires are going to actually get together and talk about this.
Interesting. Very interesting. Keith Ward.
It's kind of. It was a close play. You could rule it either because if it was on the transfer, it's an out. But if they say he didn't catch it cleanly, then the runner is safe.
It's a very agreed. 2-0 is the score in favor of the Melbourne Aces. Top of the fourth. There's another look at it.
I don't know.
The other thing that makes it tricky, Nick, is he took his foot off the bag pretty quickly.
And it looks like they're going to call him. They're going to call him safe.
There we go.
So they'll say that it was not on the transfer, and now Alan D. St. Miguel isn't happy either.
Yeah. So that'll be an E6, I would imagine. Here comes D-San, first-year manager of the Aces. He's not happy. And this is a very, very important base runner, obviously, because that puts 2 men on with no outs.
Yeah.
Rather than 1 man on with 1 out.
You go from being able to get a double play out of the inning to extra base hit, ties the game.
Correct.
And D. San Miguel obviously not happy with that, especially seeing the decision overturned.
Yes, the original call was that it was on the transfer. You're absolutely right.
It looks like both of the base umpires will come in. That was first base umpire Stuart Howe that is walking in front of D. San Miguel, who was talking with Greg Howard. Third base umpire.
Broke it up. So Canberra wins the argument. 1, Keith Ward 1. Alan D. San Miguel nil.
So runners on first and second now with, like you said, no outs.
And Taylor, a very quick runner, now at second as well. So Zach Wilson steps in. He struck out his first time up, the first baseman. So 2 men on, no outs. Flynn delivers this line right back at George. Now we'll go one more time. 6-4-3, and there's the double play we wanted last time.
Finally, they took an extra pitch, but Brian Flynn, that is a massive pitch right there. And talk about a tough break for the Canberra Cavalry.
It is. Can you believe it? Taylor does move over to third. There it is.
And that's
right
Taylor
back at
made.
George gets a second opportunity.
Kind of knew it right away.
Yeah, it's not a great feeling. Zach Wilson headed down to first, knowing he just hit into a double play. Now Cam Warner, the DH, takes strike 1. He was caught looking at a third strike his first time up. Taylor does move down to third, 90 feet away from scoring Cavalry's first run. That one's inside. Ball 1-1.
We didn't mention it, but it was ruled an error on Daryl
Yes.
George.
Yep.
It allowed Tucker Nathans to reach.
I already put that in my book.
See, I hadn't checked the official stats. I guess I'm behind.
You're smarter than I am. That's outside corner strike. Whew, Warner did not like that one. That one just nipped. Outside. So ahead now. Flynn trying to work out of a big jam. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs. It's in dirt, well blocked by Perkins.
Just irrelevant line, ladies and gentlemen. 2 out, 2 strikes. If you get a strike out here, it's free popcorn. So on your feet, fans.
The free popcorn is back, Nick.
The free popcorn is back.
Strike out here, it's free popcorn for everyone in the ballpark.
Does that include us? They never brought us up any last season.
Yeah, I know. We weren't happy about that. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Aces lead 2-0. Oh, that nearly got away from Perkins, so it's a full count, 3-2. Another big pitch coming up here, Nick.
Full count.
Flynn fires. Just missed outside.
Fans aren't too happy about that. They wanted their free popcorn.
They certainly did. Warner heads down to first. Flynn's second walk of the night. And Donald Lutz steps in. Dangerous hitter. He flew out, popped out to second his first time up. The Aces are not out of the inning yet. Taylor on third, Warner on first. Lutz to plate. Hits that hard into right. That's hit very hard, very, very hard, and that's out of here. I called him a dangerous hitter, and he certainly proved me right. Donald Lutz over the right center field fence, and just like that, it's 3-2 Canberra.
Canberra all of a sudden on top. Lutz's second home run of the season for the Canberra Cavalry. It's a big blow to the Aces and Brian Flynn.
It's the trouble with that walk, isn't it?
The walks always come back to bite you.
It does. Crowd just silenced, stunned by that as Robbie Perkins steps in and swings and misses. How about that? Thursday night, you couldn't buy a ball hit hard. Tonight, 3 home runs. Whew.
The wind was blowing out, or I should say it was blowing in a lot tonight.
Yep.
Nope, let's restart that, Nick. The wind was blowing out a lot. It was blowing in. I'm tripping over my words. The wind on Thursday blew in a lot.
Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna take my headset off for the night. That's it.
1 ball, 2 strikes. That's hit high in the air. Playable out in right field by Willis. And he makes the play for the final out. But not before Canberra comes up with 3 runs on 2 hits. The big blow, of course. You're looking at it right now. The Donald Lutz 3-run shot over the right center field fence. And the Canberra Cavalry take a 3-2 lead over the Melbourne Aces as we head to the bottom of the 4th inning.
Recently, I've been working very closely with Light and Easy, and I'm going to fill you in on a little secret. They don't make diet food. Instead, they create nutritious and delicious food for you to enjoy to help manage your weight, improve your health, and also save you time. And that same great food can help minimise your chances of suffering many illnesses later in life. So, the secret to losing weight and being healthy is simply eating delicious food. Try Light and Easy for yourself.
Welcome back to Melbourne Ballpark. A stunned Melbourne Ballpark after the Canberra Cavalry come up with 3 runs in the top of the 4th inning with a 2-out, 3-run home run. And Aces now have a little bit of work to do. Ed Wyatt with Nick Batters alongside me. 7-inning game. Keep that in mind. It's a doubleheader. So a bit of work to do here for the Aces. This is Damick Tomshay, who hit a home run his first time up in the 2nd inning. Since then, we've had 2 more home runs. That one's hit high and out of play down the right field line. And Frank Galey, who's been pretty solid, suddenly has a lead. Pitching with a lead.
That's what you want as a pitcher. He's pitched well, had a couple of hard hit balls that left the yard, but his hitters have been there to back him up.
It's off the fist into the net, so Tom Shane a quick hole here. Misses the outside corner. 2-2.
Good approach by Tomshay, being patient.
Absolutely. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Aces trail 3-2, bottom of 4. Swing and a miss. Good pitch. 1 away.
6 strikeouts for Frank Galey.
Willis now, speaking of strikeouts, he fanned his first time up in the 2nd inning.
Right fielder for your Melbourne Aces, come on.
First pitch, strike, pitch.
Has to give the pitcher a bit more confidence. You're pitching from behind, all of a sudden, one swing of the bat, you have the lead.
Absolutely. Exact same spot, that pitch. Outside corner. Quick 0-2 count against Willis. Here is Galey. Kind of a mean-looking character, Nick. Galey.
Good beard.
Very good. Goes with a breaking ball right back to the mound over his head. Over comes Taylor, throw to first, not going to get there. Good hustle by Willis. He has good wheels. To be honest, if Galey were a little bit taller, he makes that play. Brian Flynn makes that play.
Yep.
It's just a little too high for him. Taylor from second, very tough throw, can't make it. And Willis is on first base with a base hit.
To check to see what the roster lists Frank Galey at. Would you believe 5'9", 175 centimeters?
There you go.
Whereas Brian Flynn is quite literally a foot taller.
And in the throw that got past Wilson, Willis moves down to second. So he's in scoring position for Kyle Perkins. Walked his first time up.
For those keeping score at home, ruled a single and a throwing error on the second baseman that allowed Willis to advance to second.
Each team with an error now. There's a 1-0 pitch. Perkins. That's hit a mile high on the right field line. Not sure it's playable. I think the wind's going to take it away. And it bounced right on the concourse. To our right. Somebody's going to get themselves a souvenir.
There we go.
There you go. Got it. How about that? Good work. Camera work, spotting that.
I was worried the foul ball was coming close to our cameraman over there. Did a good job to get out of the way.
Certainly did. 1 ball, 1 strike now. 1 out, man on second. Aces trail 3-2. That's it in the air again. A little bit further back this time.
Right over the party deck. That was hit high, really high. Right behind him.
There it went.
Oh, that has to be a deflating feeling.
It's right there. Pitch to Perkins is bowed back again.
Really good battle here from the catcher.
Absolutely.
And that's what you need to do. You're in a 2-strike count. You have a runner in scoring position that represents the tying run.
1 ball, 2 strikes. It's been this way for a little while here. Big at bat. Cruz on deck for the Aces. Looks at a called 3rd strike. Tough one.
Another fantastic pitch from Galey.
7th strikeout of the night. And that's 2 away. With Jared Cruz stepping up, he struck out his first time up in the 2nd inning. So now it's 2 outs. Runner still on second. Colin Willis. Swing and a miss. Strike 1.
A staple, a fixture here in Melbourne with the Aces for a long time now, Jared Cruz.
Absolutely.
This season, if you can believe it, is his 8th with the club.
There's the 0-1 pitch. Off speed. Pitched it, fooled Cruz so quickly. 0-2 count. Don't forget, 7-inning game this one, and the 2nd game to follow. It's part of a double header. So in the bottom of the 4th, 3 more after this. Galey working out of the stretch. Comes into Cruz. Pitch was framed well by Perkins, but was clearly outside. So ball 1, 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Galey would love another punch out right here.
You know what? He's got one.
Freezes Cruz.
3 strikeouts in the inning. Aces get a base hit, runner to second, but can't do anything about it. And the score remains Canberra 3, Melbourne Aces 2. We'll be back with the top of the 5th inning after this.
Australia, it's our great low prices that make the difference. In our end of summer Aloha clearance sale, save from 30% up to 50% off our range of blinds, shutters and awnings. U Blinds Australia, more value for you.
Welcome back to Melbourne Ballpark. Melbourne Aces trailing Canberra Cavalry 3-2 in the top of the 5th, and we have a new pitcher on the mound for the Melbourne Aces. It is Josh Tolles, crafty left-hander, 31-year-old in the Phillies organization. He's also pitched in indie ball and in Japan. Very, very tricky curveball.
Yeah, it's I think one of the highest RPM curveballs. He's only 5'7", but he's really effective. You mentioned it with that breaking ball. Big Bugs Bunny call it looping breaking ball. Though he does complement it very well with a good fastball and an incredible changeup.
Yep. So he takes over for Brian Flynn. Only gives up a couple hits, Brian Flynn, but one of them was that big 3-run home run to Donald Lutz, and that's where we sit right now with Canberra 3, Melbourne 2, as Austin Gallagher steps in. He flew out to right field his first time up. Ed White, Nick Batters with you. 7-inning game tonight with another one to follow as Gallagher fouls that one back. 1 ball, 1 strike. Thank you for tuning in wherever you're watching this. KO, Fox Sports, Aces Facebook page, YouTube page, ABL page.
If you're in Australia, if you're in the Netherlands, if you're in the US, glad you're here.
Absolutely. That's a strike. 1 ball, 2 strikes now. Aces dugout a little less excited than they were after that Darryl George home run in the 3rd inning. Gave them a 2-0 lead. Plenty of time to go here.
And I'll tell you what, Josh Tolles right here would love a quality outing because his last 2 have been rough, both in Sydney and Canberra, the first 2 weeks of the season.
That one missed inside, and we got a full count now all of a sudden. 3 balls and 2 strikes. There's that breaking ball that's fouled into the Aces dugout. We'll do it again. 3 balls, 2 strikes.
Tolles has thrown just 1 1/3 innings this season, allowed 3 earned runs, 4 hits, couple walks, couple strikeouts. So not a big sample size.
Goes with the fastball. Gallagher started off to first. Come on back. It's a strikeout. 1 down. First strikeout for Tolles, 4th of the night. I love that quick bat throw. Like, yep, that's a ball. Whoops. No, it isn't. Basnoy, the left fielder, steps in now. Native of the Netherlands, swing and a miss. Strike 1.
The final line for Brian Flynn goes 4 innings, allows 2 hits, 3 runs. All of them are unearned. 2 walks and 3 punch-outs.
Missed inside, 1 ball, 1 strike. After Noy, it's the top of the order for Canberra. Mikey Reynolds. It's popped up, could land on the roof. Nope, went a little bit further. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Noy.
You can always hear it when it lands on the roof right above us.
So I was waiting for the big bang. Did not come. Swing and a high pitch, and he's gone. 2 quick strikeouts for Josh Tolles.
He elevates, gets the job done. And this is the Josh Tolles that we were hoping to see.
Absolutely right. Here's Mikey Reynolds, 0 for 2 tonight. Flew out, grounded out. Tolles cuts the inside corner without. Good pitch. Aces could use a 3 up, 3 down here as that breaking ball comes across, but doesn't quite hit. So 1 ball, 1 strike. Let's pop back. That might hit the roof. Again, I'm wrong.
Ed, what are you doing?
I'll quit predicting whether or not it's going to hit the roof or not.
Every single foul ball.
1 ball, 2 strikes. As you said, in the booth where we are with a tin roof, we're used to hearing that big bang when a ball flies back here.
Loud clank.
Yeah, clank is good. There's a 1-2 pitch. Tipped it. Perkins couldn't hang on.
It was almost the free popcorn.
Yeah, Reynolds will stay alive. And do it again. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Tolles, we talked about it last night, but 2019 with the Lehigh Valley Iron Pigs, lots of aces connections.
Got him. Called 3rd strike. Reynolds cannot believe it. He's got to be careful here. So it's free popcorn. It's striking out the side, which is, as you said, a great start for Josh Tolles. Here it is. Reynolds takes it. And to be fair to Mikey Reynolds, that looks pretty low. But if you're an Aces fan, you will take it. We're going to head to the bottom of the 5th. Aces trail Canberra 3-2. Back after this.
For the Cavalry onto the mound is Stephen King.
Welcome back to Melbourne Ballpark. Canberra lead Melbourne 3-2. Bottom of the 5th inning. It's a 7-inning game, so keep that in mind as we look at a new pitcher for the Cavalry. He's number 23, Stephen Kent, 31-year-old, starting his 10th season with Canberra. Ed White, Nick Batters with you, and he's an absolute veteran of the ABL and the Canberra Cavalry. Left-hander takes over for Frank Galey.
Fans are having a good time. That's good to see. Lots of laughs, smiles. Good crowd came out to brave the cold weather. The rain didn't scare these folks away.
So the Aces try and claw a run or two back here, trailing 3-2. Jared Dale will lead off here. First pitch is a strike. Fouled out of play. Quick 0-2 count against Dale.
It's been really good to see Jared Dale have success this season. Right now his batting average sits at .313. On pace for a career year, though it is still early.
It's also fouled out of play. Speed pitch, grounded just past the Cavalry dugout. So count remains no balls, 2 strikes. Bottom of 5. Aces trail 3-2. That's blooped into right field. That could drop. No, it holds up just in time for Lutz to get one away. It's very hopeful of me to think that will draw.
I'll tell you what, I was hoping that we were going to get one more pitch because I was going to tell you a fun fact about Jared Dale. I'll throw it in now. With his hit this earlier in this game, a double in the second, His 9-game hit streak is the longest active hit streak in the ABL that dates back to last season.
Right? Wow, that is a good fact. Here's Blake Galey. Top of the order, 0 for 2 tonight. Fly out and a strikeout. That's hit well in the right field for a base hit. Galen steps up and wraps the first pitch from Cantley to right field, and the Aces have a base runner with 1 out.
Love that first pitch swinging in.
Yeah, look, beautiful.
It was a tough game yesterday. 0 for 2 to begin today.
Yep.
Now Darryl George has a chance.
Darryl George working on a 2 for 2 night, single and a home run. What a walk-up song, isn't it?
I ask him the story behind that.
Yeah, we should actually. Very unique.
I like it.
I do too.
Josh Reddick of the Oakland A's used to use Careless Whisper as his walk-up song.
I like that. George swinging the first pitch as well. That's out of play down. Sort of out by the All-Star bar, which from where I sit, it's a pretty well done sign. I wonder who did that sign.
It was a driving back from Sydney.
Graphic artist named Nick Batters did that. Does a little bit of everything, folks. I told you that. It's true. As George takes that inside, 1-1. 1 out man on first is Blake Galen. Darryl George at the plate, gifting Gope on deck. Aces trail at 3-2. That's hit up the middle, base hit. Galen's gonna have to hold it second, but the Aces have 2 men on.
Hard hit ball there by Darryl George.
Yep. He is 3 for 3.
What a game for Georgie.
Oh. See that hit hard in the center, but it was hit so hard there's no way Galen was going to be able to go anywhere. Now Ngope steps in, and you mentioned needing a hit. He got a walk last time up, so maybe this is the opportunity for him to break out and get his first hit as a Melbourne Ace.
You had the chance to talk to him yesterday. I've talked to him a few times. Such a nice guy.
Sure is.
You can tell he's really happy to be here.
Yep.
Not that the others aren't, but him especially.
Breaking ball misses inside or low.
He's in a position where he's wants one more crack at the major leagues.
Yep.
Really a fantastic pickup by the Aces. And he became available.
Galen on second, George on first, 1 out. That's low, ball 2. And of course, Delman Young is on deck, big man.
At that point that I was talking about with Josh Tolles, he, Gifton Gope, Drew Anderson, who we saw last night, Dan McTomshay, who we've seen, and Luke Leftwich, who we haven't yet seen out of the bullpen, played on the AAA Lehigh Valley Iron Pigs last year with Shane Robinson.
That's high. It was Thursday night too, Nick.
Thursday. I'm gonna take out the headset.
You did say you'd stump you a couple more times. Thursday night Aces played.
Bring it on to the Facebook comments.
No game yesterday. 2 games tonight. 1 game tomorrow. 3 balls, no strikes. Gope takes that high. Bases loaded for Delman Young. Not a spot you want to be in as a pitcher. So Big Dale
already
0 for 2 tonight. He was 0 for 3 last night, so surely he's due, Nick.
You'd think so.
Again, swinging at that first pitch, foul it off.
Delman Young had the only grand slam for the Aces last season. You want to take a guess as to which team it was against?
Canberra?
It was this Canberra Cavalry team in the opening weekend of last season. The 3rd game hit a grand slam. First 3 batters in the inning reached, and then Delman Young hit a grand slam. That was against Dusan Ruzic.
Yep. That's hit hard into right field. Back at the fence. It's off the fence. 1 run is in. Here comes George. Play at the plate. He's in. 2 runs in. Big Dell delivers with a double off the right field fence.
That's Delman Young doing what Delman Young always does. Comes up in the clutch. His 6th and 7th runs batted into the season. Who says we need the long ball from Delman Young when he's doubling in 2 runs to give the Aces a 4-3 lead?
We will take it. Lutz went back. I wasn't sure what was going to happen. It went off the fence, and 2 runs are in. Daryl George hustling around third to give the Aces a 4-3 lead.
That was kind of a tough play for the base runners because you couldn't tell if it was going to go over the fence. Is he going to hit off the wall?
Yep.
Is Donald Lutz going to catch it? So they kind of had to hold up. I'd reckon Gift Ngope could score if it weren't such a difficult play.
I agree with that.
Oh, he's on third base.
Here's Damick Tomshay, who homered in the 2nd to get the thing started here. That's hit into center field. Could be a play at home. Let's wait and see if Ngope tags. He tags and he's coming. The throw's not going to go. And the Aces get another one. Sacrifice fly from Damick Tomshay. It's 5-3 Aces.
And just like that, the tables have turned. The momentum shifts into the Aces' favor almost as quickly as it left their favor.
Certainly did in a rough outing for the veteran Stephen Kent.
Looks like we'll have a pinch hitter here. Jake Romanski hitting for Colin Willis.
Interesting. I wonder if that's an injury situation. Will that send Perkins to the outfield and Romanski to catch, do you think?
We'll have to wait and see. I'm not sure.
So Romanski steps up for Willis. In the bottom of the 5th of a 7-inning game, first of a doubleheader, 2 out. The Aces lead 5-3. That's hit hard by Romanski, but right at Taylor Tucker-Nathans. And he's going to make the play, and that will end the inning, but not before the Aces battle back, get 3 runs, and take a 5-3 lead at the bottom of the 5th inning. What a comeback by the Aces. You have a look at Delman Young's double off the fence in right center field. Everything's going to right center field tonight. Lutz up, jumps, kind of hopefully, bounces off the wall. Young into second. And here comes Daryl George with the slide. You can see him there, great camera shot. And it's resulted now in the Aces taking a 5-3 lead to the top of 6. We'll be back with that right after this.
Some positional changes.
Back with you at Melbourne Ballpark. Nick Batter said Wyatt. Top 6 Aces lead this game 5-3. Josh Tolles back out for his 2nd inning of work after a 1-2-3 5th inning. He got some run support in the bottom half on a double by Delman Young and a sacrifice fly by Damick Tomshay, who is moved into left field. Jared Cruz shifts from left to right. Jake Romanski takes over for Tom Shea at first base. So some defensive changes alongside Ed White. I'm Nick Batters, and we're really glad that you chose to make the Aces a part of your Saturday. One more game coming up after this. 2 7-inning games for this doubleheader. Pulls the 0-1. Pulled foul. Just about a meter foul. It's 0-2.
Saw a pitcher's duel Thursday night and a home run derby tonight.
A little bit of everything.
Yeah.
Fouled off again. We'll keep it at no balls and 2 strikes. Samad Taylor struck out in the first, singled and scored in the 4th inning. It was the first one across the plate after the Donald Lutz 3-run home run that momentarily gave Canberra the lead. So again, Damick Tom Shea now in left field, moving from first base where Jake Romanski is, and Jared Cruz shifts from left to right, taking over for Colin Willis. Romanski pinch hit for in the bottom of the 5th inning. Count now 1-2. Still in favor of Josh Tolles, though. Cracked out to center. Galen to his left, settles under it. 1 gone.
That's a big out because Taylor, as we know, has that speed on the base paths. That's a really big out. Especially in a 7-inning game. It's unlikely he will come back up again.
Tolles so far has retired all 4 batters he's faced out of the bullpen. Drops in a good breaking pitch for a strike. We'll see Zach Wilson next.
Tolles has been really sharp.
He
And
has.
as you mentioned, him needing a good outing. Boy, so far, pretty decent.
Tolles falls behind in the count, 2-1.
Guess I just need to keep my mouth shut, Nick. Oh,
Another beautiful pitch from Josh Tolles sends Tucker Nathans chasing into the dirt, and it's 2-2.
what a pitch that was. This is what he could do with that crazy breaking ball.
The 2-2. Jam shot, dribble up the first base side. Tolles off the mound, scoops it, flips it with his glove to first in time.
What a play. What a play. Realize
Are they saying that was a foul ball?
Maybe they are. Maybe
the umpires
are going to get together.
Will get together.
It's a night of conferences.
It is.
More conferences than Brexit at the moment. Here we go. Let's have a look.
And a great play by Josh Tolles to flip it with his glove all in one motion.
That's a super play. Obviously, the contention is where the ball was hit in fair or foul territory or off a foot or something. That's what they're discussing, whether it's an actual fair ball. Looks like it may be called foul.
It is, so he'll have another chance.
How about that? Too bad. That really good play from Tolles.
It was a really nice play.
Foul ball. We'll do it again.
Tucker Nathan's another chance here. The count stays 2 balls, 2 strikes.
That's tough on Tolles mentally too, isn't it? You think you got the out, you make the nice play at first, and you're going to step back in and pitch with a 2-2 count. Now it's 3-2. Let's see what he comes up with here.
Full count offering on the way. Sent back to the screen. We'll do it once more. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Looks like it just hit in front of the plate.
And to be fair, Ian Gavin made that call very quickly.
Good camera angle there.
Certainly was.
Inside, did he go? No, he did not. The check swing in favor of Tucker Nathans down to first. a base runner for the Canberra Cavalry. And that'll bring the tying run to the plate for them.
It's one of those sliding doors moments, isn't it? We thought we had 2 down, nobody on. Comes back, draws a walk. Now there's 1 out with a man on first. In the heart of the order coming up, Wilson, Warner, Lutz.
Another good off-speed pitch below the knees of, I should say, I mean, it was caught below the knees, but comes through the strike zone for a strike. It's not about where it's caught, it's about where it crosses the plate. That's how a ball or strike is determined. Nathan's dancing off of first, the 0-1. Sent sky high, but out of play, foul. 0-2.
It's good to come back like that for Tolles after losing Nathan's on the walk. Ahead in the count here against Wilson. High.
Tolles can't get the strikeout pitch there. So the count 1-2. 1-2. Swung on and missed, strike 3.
Good pitch.
Good bounce back.
Yep, got him
Sequence right there for Josh Tolles, his 4th strikeout. It's a weekend of strikeouts at Melbourne Ballpark. That's his 4th. 7th for Ace's pitching. And if we want to look at the day as a whole, 15 between the 2 pitching staffs.
8 for Galey.
Galey. Tripping us up. Now the batter, Cam Warner, the designated hitter, looks at a strike. He walked and scored in the 4th. That was a close 3-2 pitch that went his way. Moments later, Donald Lutz connected for his 40th home run in the Modern Australia Baseball League. 0-1 out to left center. Tom Shea converges with Galen, but Galen settles under it to make the grab, and Josh Tolles gets out of the 6th inning. No runs and no hits, no errors. The walk to Tucker Nathans comes back to not bite Josh Tolles. He's stranded on first, and the inning comes to an end. So the Aces lead 5-3. Maybe the last at bats for them. Bottom of the 6th coming up. Back in a moment from Melbourne Ballpark.
There's an unseen thread woven into the fabric of all Australian homes. It's our way of life. Sun-kissed days, afternoon storms, and memories shared with those we love. It's messy, but you bet we make it work. In the end, it's the simple things that make an Australian home home. And what did the trick then still does the job now.
Hills, Australia's trusted clothesline since 1945.
Light and Easy doesn't make diet food. Instead, they create delicious, nutritious food for you to enjoy whilst improving your health and saving time. So, the secret to losing weight and being healthy is simply eating delicious food.
Bottom of the 6th inning, Aces lead the Canberra Cavalry 5-3. Nick Batters, Ed Wyatt from Melbourne Ballpark in Melbourne's western suburbs. So glad that you're with us. It's been a great game of baseball, Ed, so far. We saw on Thursday a close 1-0 affair. Tonight, the long ball has been working, but we've also seen the strikeout pitches as well.
Yep, it absolutely has been 2 very different games, Thursday and tonight, but 2 very entertaining games. And the rain held off for this first 7-inning game. We got another one to come after this.
Stephen Kent back out for his 2nd inning of work. He'll face 7, 8, 9 Kyle Perkins, Jared Cruz, and Jared Dale. Perkins 0 for 1, though he did walk in the 2nd inning. It's the first pitch inside for a ball, 1-0. Aces sent 7 batters to the plate in a 3-run 5th inning. Has them with a 2-run advantage. Off to the right, or even 1-1.
Game to follow here. Was it a half hour afterward?
30 minutes in between games.
Yep.
So we're probably looking somewhere around 8 o'clock local time for the first pitch.
Possibly a little bit before, but yeah, you're absolutely right. And then tomorrow,
1 o'clock, 1 p.m., yes.
Same two teams. And we'll be back.
We will be back wherever you're watching us right now, wherever you watched us on Thursday. Come back, same place tomorrow. 2-1 the count to Kyle Perkins. Kent elevates the fastball, gets Perkins to chase 2-2.
Tomorrow's a good time for those fans in the States.
Yes.
To have a watch and a listen, because it's, I think, 6 o'clock on Pacific time?
5 o'clock Pacific,
Yeah.
8 Eastern.
Yeah, so definitely in that back in the States. Have a listen, have a watch.
The 2-2. Line to the left side. Mikey Reynolds can't get to it into center field. Just tipped off his glove.
It looked like he got a little late start. Wasn't sure
It
where
did.
it was going.
Kyle Perkins aboard. The leadoff man reaches.
Jeez, he hit that well against his old team.
Kyle Perkins has done well against Canberra this season. As Jared Cruz now comes to the plate. 0 for 2 today with 2 strikeouts, but a runner on, no out. Chance to give the Aces a little insurance.
Right field foul line getting a lot of work. If you're a kid parked out there, a lot of opportunities to get a baseball.
So Cruz behind the count 0-1. Takes a good breaking ball in for strike 2. It's quickly no balls and 2 strikes.
Tough outing for Stephen Kent, the veteran Canberra pitcher, but that's a nice pitch as he gets Cruz.
Nothing you can do there.
No. Beautiful.
Kent overpowers Cruz, and now it's Jared Dale's chance.
Tough night for Cruz, 3 strikeouts.
So after Perkins singles, Cruz strikes out, 1 gone in the 6th. It's Jared Dale who doubled, but that ended the 2nd inning after Perkins was thrown out at home. Going from first was Perkins. The hit and run was on. It was fouled back to the screen.
Interesting, trying to push another run across, as you mentioned earlier, some insurance runs. Aces currently lead at 5-3. 7-inning game, so Canberra only gets 1 more at-bat unless they tie it or take the lead.
For the Aces, you really would like to add another run or 2 just to increase the lead a little bit, make it a little more comfortable.
Yep.
We'll be curious to see who we see for the Aces on the mound in the 7th.
There is a little action in the bullpen, Nick, and my high-powered special binoculars out. See if I can see who it is. Foul pole blocking my vision.
1-1 to Dale. Perkins again going, takes it outside. Dale does throw down to second, well ahead of Kyle Perkins. And Robbie throws out his brother Kyle at second base. Younger brother wins this battle. 2 outs now here in the 6th.
Yeah, that was ill-conceived is the wrong word, but it just didn't work out the way the Aces would have hoped it would.
So now the bases are empty, and there are 2 outs for Jared Dale. So he's looking for just about anything. The 2-1. Pop tie to the right side. Taylor into the green turf. Makes the grab, and that's the final out here in the 6th inning. Kyle Perkins, a leadoff single, but he's caught stealing, and soon thereafter the inning comes to an end. So no runs on that 1 hit, no errors, and no runners are left on base. Aces need 3 more outs to pick up the victory in the first game of this 7-inning doubleheader. Stick around. Coming back in a minute.
At U Blinds Australia, it's our great low prices that make the difference, especially during our once-a-year stock take sale. For 2 weeks only, all products are half price. Yes, half price. U Blinds Australia, more value for you.
Good crowd on hand from Melbourne Ballpark. Welcome back to the stadium. Glad you're here with us. Nick Batters and Ed Wyatt. We're getting a look out at Clubland, that fantastic group seating area down the left field line here at Melbourne Ballpark. The fans, they braved what was at the time the rain, the cold.
Yeah.
It's gone away though. We haven't seen any rain since the game started.
Very pessimistic coming out to the ballpark, Nick, because it was raining. It was very dark, but it has stayed away. If you do come out to the ballpark, as we look at the rain coming in, that may not be as beneficial for the second game, but we'll see. Should mention, if you do come out to the ballpark, it is a COVID-safe environment.
Yes.
You can scan the Q code, do all that, wear a mask inside.
Correct.
Here. It's all been relatively easy, to be honest with you.
It's been good, and it's important to stay safe. The way that the seating's worked out is that it's socially distanced.
Yep.
So everyone is socially distanced in the seating bowl. Again, you said wearing masks inside, scanning the QR code. We want to have as much baseball as possible this season. With the Melbourne Ballpark, the Australian Baseball Leagues as a whole, it's up to the fans to do their part to make it the safest environment possible. Drew Anderson, who we saw strike out 4 batters in 2 innings of work, picking up the win 2 nights ago on Thursday. He's out for the save here in the 7th. He'll face 6, 7, and 8. Donald Lutz, Robbie Perkins, Austin Gallagher. First pitch to Lutz. The 3-run home run back in the 4th. It's called a strike, 0-1.
He sure did hit a 3-run home. He clubbed that. Canberra have only had 2 hits tonight, Nick, but 3 runs on the board.
Quickly, Drew Anderson ahead in the count. No balls and 2 strikes. The Aces pitching staff has been pumping in the strikes. Drew Anderson in 4 innings this season has 9 strikeouts. That's over an average of 2 per inning. 0-2 to Lutz. Back to the screen. We'll do it again, 0-2.
Look at the Canberra Cavalry dugout, and as we said earlier, a lot of respect to them for coming down here on short notice to play in this game tonight. A bit short-handed as well. Certainly haven't looked that way.
The 0-2. Swung on and missed, strike 3. Anderson gets Lutz to chase. 1 gone in the 7th.
8th strikeout tonight for the Aces. 9 for the Cavalry.
So now it's Robbie Perkins, who's 0 for 1, walked in the 3rd, flew out in the 4th, caught his brother Kyle trying to steal 2nd. I wonder what the conversation after the game is. Anderson. Perkins fouls it off to the right, 0-1. Hey, bud. Hey, bro. What was that for? I'm sure it's fun for the 2 of them to play against each other. Haven't done it a whole lot.
No, usually played together.
Anderson's 0-1. Catches the outer edge, strike 2. Another. I mean, we saw Brian Flynn, the big leaguer, start this game, and Drew Anderson, 4 years in the big leagues, 3 with the Phillies, 1 with the White Sox.
Just nice to have, isn't it, Nick?
Have a different presence on the mound. The 0-2. This is outside. 1-2.
Just the opportunity for Alan D. San Miguel, the Aces manager, to call on somebody like Drew Anderson. Even someone like Josh Tolles just before.
No, D. San Miguel likes Anderson at the back end of the bullpen. This will be the 3rd game he's finished the season if this holds. Perkins down the right side. Dale, Romanski, and Cruz converge, and it'll land on top of the batting cages down the right side. So we'll keep it at a ball and 2 strikes.
In my years of calling Aces games, Nick, I can tell you the number of times the ball's gone down that right field line and it stayed in is minuscule compared to the number of times it goes over there. Just that wind coming across the park.
It's not like there's a little amount of foul room, but it's just that the wind usually
takes it.
Takes it away. So a ball and 2 strikes once more. Right back to the mound off of Anderson. He recovers to first. Good recovery by Drew Anderson for the second out of the 7th.
Very nice play by Anderson. Sometimes when it ricochets like that, you kind of lose track of it. You're not sure where it is. He was right on it. And when he spun around, he knew he had some time, so he didn't force the throw. He made a nice, easy throw, although it pulled Tom Shea off slightly. Or Romansky, excuse me. Romansky, just slightly. But good play. And here we go. It is a 7-inning game, folks, so
one more out.
This is it. Yep. We can get him out here.
Infield play in the left-handed hitting Gallagher to pull. First pitch is called a strike.
George just about, not quite, but almost over the top of second base.
Aces dugout anticipating that final out. The 0-1. Skips in front of the plate, called the ball. 1-1. Again, the second game of this doubleheader will come up 30 minutes after the conclusion of this game. So again, we're looking pretty close to 8 o'clock there.
You're right, Nick. It's going to be right around.
This is outside 2-1. If Gallagher can reach and keep the game alive, Basnoy is on deck.
See some of the Aces faithful fans out there and enjoying the evening.
Pop to the left side. This should do it. Damick Tom Shea ranging over, settles under it, and that's the ball game. The Melbourne Aces pick up a win, 5-3 over the Canberra Cavalry in the first game of tonight's doubleheader. Drew Anderson picks up the save. And what a well-played ball game, Ed.
Really was, and we made reference to this any number of times. Very different from Thursday night's 1-0 win over Perth, but you still had the strikeouts, 9 for the Aces, 8 or 9 for each team, actually, as I look at them. Am I doing my math right?
Yep.
I think it's 9 for each team, so 18 total strikeouts. But the home runs, the long ball, the big hits you had as well, too, which you didn't have Thursday night. But a highly entertaining game.
It was a fun game.
It was a great game for a spectator and for a commentator to call, but also if you're an Aces fan, you're going to like what you see, winning games 2 different ways.
No, and it's good for Alan D. San Miguel to see that his team not only can, the pitching staff can get it done with the bats aren't totally there, but then the bats can also back up the pitching staff. Tough break for Brian Flynn. None of the runs that he allowed were earned on the home run from Donald Lutz.
And we talked about that top of the order on Thursday night, not getting it done. Well, they certainly did get it done tonight as we look at some of the highlights. And Damick Tom Shea in the second inning with a solo home run.
And that was a much needed home run after the lack of offense a couple of nights ago.
You see a little bit of the rain falling, bottom of the third. That's Darryl George. Deep to the 370 mark. Look at that.
Muscled it out.
Deepest part of the ballpark. Gave the Aces a 2-zip lead. Things looking really good at that point, if you're an Aces fan.
And for Darryl George, again, we mentioned it, really good for him to get that home run out of the way. He's been out of action for a long time. It must have felt good.
Absolutely right. There's that big swing.
Yeah.
He's still running hard. He's not sure, just like us on the call. You're not sure where it's going to go. And there's a big bat from Canberra. Donald Lutz, 4th inning. 3-run shot that gave them the lead, 3-2.
But the lead didn't stay long. And we talked about it. Donald Lutz, a great addition coming over from the Brisbane Bandits for this season. But then it was Delman Young. He fists it Took the inside pitch nearly out of the ballpark for a grand slam. Instead, it's off the wall. Donald Lutz can't get it. Young hustling into second with a double, scored 2 runs, gave the Aces a lead as we see Daryl George fired up, sliding in. And at the time, the score was 4-3.
Yep.
And then it was Dave McTomshek, the sacrifice fly, that gave the Aces that extra insurance run.
Didn't really need that in the long run, but it's always good to have that insurance run as Ingope comes in, and that's pretty much where we landed. 5-3 as you see the crew getting ready to prepare the field here for the second game tonight. As we did mention, the rain has been around, but it has not affected the game so far, and I think they'll have a relatively easy preparation for that second game.
Yeah, it shouldn't be too bad. They announced over the speakers, the PA system here at 7:55 the first pitch. So come back here in just under half an hour. Join myself and Ed for the second game of tonight's doubleheader. Great game tonight for the Melbourne Aces. 5 runs on 9 hits, 1 error. They pick up the victory. 3 runs on just 2 hits for the Canberra Cavalry. They also make an error. Aces come out victorious 5-3. For my partner Ed Wyatt, our entire fantastic crew from Sportscast Australia, we'll be back in just a bit. Melbourne Aces baseball. Melbourne Ballpark.